Next week on BBC's EastEnders, Whitney Dean fights for her life in a dramatic exit storyline, while a soap legend returns after 31 years. Additionally, teenager Denzels grapples with body image issues, and Sonia faces emotional turmoil over fertility struggles, seeking solace in unexpected places. BBC EastEnders spoilers next week, Whitney fights for her life and legend returns 31 years after debut. EastEnders is set for explosive scenes next week with pregnant Whitney Dean left fighting for her life with her devastating exit storyline is sealed, while a legend is returning 31 years after their first debut. EastEnders is lining up explosive scenes next week with a series of dramatic storylines hitting Albert Square. In spoilers for next week, pregnant Whitney Dean will be left fighting for her with a tragic exit storyline sealed. Elsewhere, fans will see a very familiar face back on the BBC One soap in a matter of days, 31 years after their debut. Also in Walford, teenager Denzels' new and worrying storyline will begin, which will leave fans concerned. Here's the biggest moments ahead on EastEnders next week. Pregnant Whitney Dean fights for her life as devastating exit storyline sealed. Whitney Dean will be left fighting for her life next week on EastEnders with a tragic exit storyline sealed. The character, played by Sonia will be making a departure from Walford soon, and it looks like it could end in a heartbreaking way for Whitney. Next week on the BBC soap, Whitney and Zach arrived in Milton Keynes to visit Bianca, as Patsy Palmer makes a long-awaited return to the soap. When her and Zach head over to see Bianca, they are met by two local children, Brittany and Taylor, and as the weeks develop, Whitney ends up forming a close bond with Brittany. However, she gets concerned over Brittany and what's been going on for her when she spots her rifling through bins for food. Bianca tells Whitney that Brittany's mother Keely struggles with a drug addiction. She is adamant she wants to do everything for Brittany and Taylor, inviting them in the house after finding the pair locked out of their own flat. In the present day, Zach and Bianca are trying to convince Whitney to make a return to Walford, but she's put all her focus on Brittany and goes to the girls' school and finds out that she hasn't been enrolled since 2020. Sonia makes a visit to see Whitney in Milton Keynes, but the focus for her is on Brittany as she notes a gash on the young girl's leg. Whitney decides she needs to talk to Keely, but Brittany makes a dash for it when things go from bad to worse. Whitney follows and promises to protect Brittany, but when the young girl steps out in front of a speeding car, Whitney pushes her out of the way and gets hit herself. Zach, Bianca and Sonia all rush to check on Whitney as she lies barely conscious on the floor. The trio hold a bedside vigil and watch over Whitney as they all worry about the baby's safety. However, there is some good news when an ultrasound confirms that the baby is okay, despite the horror accident. Will this formulate part of Whitney's exit storyline? Legend returning to BBC soap 31 years after debut. EastEnders fans will see a very familiar face back on the BBC soap in a matter of days. Soap legend Bianca Jackson is returning to the show after 5 years away, and 31 years on from her debut in 1993. Patsy Palmer is reprising the role, as confirmed in an announcement by the actress and the show last month. Now, new details have been revealed about her comeback in spoilers, with special episodes set in Milton Keynes. The spoilers have confirmed when the return will air, and it is just days away. Bianca will be back on screen in scenes that will air on Monday, March 4th, as her stepdaughter Whitney visits her after her breakup from Terry Spraggan. In the episode, viewers will see moments from across 5 weeks before the soap returns to present day. It's the first time Bianca has been on the show since 2019, after Whitney's doomed wedding to Callum Highway. Whitney is now pregnant and with Zach Hudson, with Zach joining her in Milton Keynes. The scenes had been teased weeks ago when Whitney decided to visit Bianca to comfort her during her heartbreak. Now, spoilers reveal the drama that unfolds during the visit with dramatic times ahead. It seems Bianca will return to Walford at some point, as she was pictured outside the famous tube station on the set. Speaking about her return earlier this year, Patsy revealed, "I'm so excited to be reprising the role of Bianca. EastEnders holds such a special place in my heart, so it's always a pleasure to be back." Heartbreaking news storyline for Denzels as tragedies sealed. EastEnders Denzels' new and worrying storyline will begin next week on the BBC soap. Spoilers have revealed what viewers had suspected would happen does in fact end up happening, when the teenager's insecurities about his body lead to a devastating decision. It could lead to tragedy on the show, as the character's issues lead to him buying steroids in a heartbreaking new plot. Recently the teen was attacked by school kids, and he wasn't able to help Yolanda Truman when she suffered a fall as he was being pinned against a wall by a bully. In the fallout, Denzel became keen to increase his body strength, with him glued to fitness videos on his phone and spending a lot of time at the gym. When girlfriend Amy Mitchell asked him what he was doing as she caught him eating a load of fried chicken at the fast food shop in Walford, when he was meant to be having dinner at her house, he claimed he was eating it for the protein. It's clear Denzel is becoming obsessive with fitness and building up his body after the attack, and this is about to get worse. Next week he is left deflated after a popular fitness influencer is keen to collaborate with him, but a video leads to nasty comments. Denzel is keen to film the workout video and asks pal Nugget to film it for him. When Nugget uploads the footage online without telling the teen, Denzel is devastated when he sees all the mean comments from users online about his physique. Denzel then reads one comment that leads to a worrying decision. He sees remarks about anabolic steroids and his interest is piqued, with him looking into them further. Later in the week, Denzel asks Yolanda for some money and claims it is for a school trip, with his dad Howie and stepmother Kim currently away from Walford. Denzel is lying though, and there is no trip, with him wanting the money for another reason. Denzel then uses the money to buy the steroids he has looked into, hoping they will change his physique as he continues to feel insecure, but will the twist lead to devastating scenes, and will anyone find out what is going on before he ends up in harm's way? EastEnders spoilers: Sonia springs a big surprise, but hides sad pain from loved ones. Emotions are to run high for Sonia Jackson in EastEnders next week as fertility issues continue to trouble her. Viewers will remember that Sonia and her boyfriend Rice Caldwell tried to conceive a baby through IVF last year after learning that he was infertile. When Rice became overbearing, trying to control what she could and couldn't eat to better aid their chances of conception, Sonia became frustrated and the two wondered whether they should continue. So far, the treatment has been unsuccessful, which has devastated the couple. In upcoming scenes, Sonia makes a surprise journey to Milton Keynes where Whitney Dean is in hospital after being hit by a car whilst visiting her adoptive mum Bianca Jackson. Whitney has hidden her own pregnancy news from her aunt in recent months for fear of upsetting her. Whilst Whit recovers from her accident, Sonia has a much-needed heart-to-heart with Bianca about her own struggles. Later in the week, she fumes with Zach for leaving his girlfriend in Milton Keynes, but takes comfort when Lily Slater asks her to take care of baby Charlie. As the yearn for her own baby grows, Rice's gestures begin to irritate her again. After feeling guilty over her jealousy at Whitney, he suggests that she takes to writing down her feelings to help her overcome them. Will Sonia eventually be able to conceive before her relationship with Rice distances further? Please subscribe our channel.